A Ukrainian drone smashed into a building in Moscow on Friday. It was shot down by Russian air defenses. The incident disrupted air traffic at all the civilian airports of the Russian capital. About 7 flights were redirected to alternative airports. The drone damaged Moscow's Expo Center complex. The first vessel that used Ukraine's Black Sea corridor crossed through Turkey's Bosphorus Strait. The Hong Kong-flagged Joseph Schult container ship left the Black Sea port of Odessa earlier this week. Last week, Ukraine announced a humanitarian corridor in the Black Sea to release cargo ships that have been trapped in its ports. Russia recently pulled out of the Black Sea grain deal. The United States has approved sending F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine from Denmark and the Netherlands. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has given assurances that the US will expedite the approval of transfer requests when pilots are fully trained. Ukraine has been demanding F-16 fighter planes for months now to use in the ongoing war against Russia. Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko has said that Russia has achieved its aims in Ukraine. He added that he doubts that Russia would ever give annexed Crimea back to Kiev. Lukashenko also said that the two warring sides should sit at the negotiating table and be ready to discuss all issues. He then accused Zelensky of stopping talks between Kyiv and Minsk. Russian and Chinese Navy ships have been jointly patrolling the Pacific Ocean. They are holding naval exercises in the East China Sea. China has said that the exercise is in line with international law and norms. On Thursday, Japan's government reported 11 Chinese and Russian naval ships crossing waters between Okinawa and Miyako. Taiwan's defense ministry has released a video showing its military conducting patrols. This comes after Taiwan's Vice President William Lai returned from a trip to the US. China criticized Lai's US visit and warned of quote-unquote vigorous measures. So far, Taiwan has not recorded any unusual Chinese military movement near the island. US President Joe Biden is willing to meet North Korean leader Kim Jong-un without preconditions. White House official has said that the aim is to discuss the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. North Korea has not responded positively to the offer, but it is still on the table. The West African bloc ECOWAS has said that it stands ready for military intervention in coup-hit Niger. Leaders say that they will intervene militarily if diplomatic efforts to reverse the coup fail. The ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security accused Niger's junta of playing cat and mouse with the bloc. This is by refusing to meet with the envoys. Law enforcement officials in the US are investigating threats against members of a grand jury. These members include those who are overseeing former President Donald Trump's Georgia trial for trying to overturn the 2020 election result. The personal information of some of the jury members was leaked online. Authorities are working at both the state and federal level to track down the origin of the threats. The Indian Space Research Organisation or ISRO has released images of the moon captured by the VIKRAM lander module. These images were taken on the 15th and 17th of August. The lander successfully separated from the propulsion module of the spacecraft on Thursday. It is now making its final journey to the moon. The touchdown is expected on the 23rd of August. In climate news, a state of emergency has been declared in Canada's British Columbia. The region's wildfire has tripled its size and continues to spread. Authorities have warned residents to prepare for extreme fire conditions. This is Canada's worst ever wildfire season, with more than 1,000 active fires burning across the country. Meanwhile, hundreds of people lined up outside an evacuation center in Canada's Yellowknife. They were registering for flights out of the city. This comes after authorities declared an evacuation order because of the wildfires. The Canadian Armed Forces are assisting with the airlift operation. Experts say climate change has exacerbated the wildfire problem in country. In Spain, firefighting efforts continue in the Canary Islands. A seaplane dropped water over an intense flame as severe wildfires continue to rage. Authorities have warned the spreading blaze could lead to further evacuations and confinement. Over 3,000 people were evacuated from their homes on Thursday. The head of the Maui Emergency Management Agency has resigned, citing health reasons. This comes just a day after he defended the agency's decision against sounding sirens during the recent fires. The agency has been facing questions about whether sounding an alarm would have saved more lives. The US city of Maui in Hawaii saw the country's worst wildfires in decades. A strong earthquake of 6.3 magnitude struck Colombia's capital Bogota on Thursday. The initial quake was followed by aftershocks minutes later. One woman died after panicking and jumping out of a window during the quake. Heavy rains and hail have lashed the South American country of Argentina. This has disrupted the lives of local residents. In the suburbs of La Plata, the municipality has raised the alert level to orange. Meanwhile, at the Buenos Aires Metropolitan Airport, many flights have been delayed and cancelled because of the storm. Large parts of India's northern Punjab state were flooded on Thursday. This was after heavy rain prompted the release of water from the Bhakra Dam. Hundreds of people living in nearby areas were evacuated to safer locations by rescue workers. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has inspected typhoon-hit farmlands in the country. He has also praised the military's efforts to salvage crops. Last week, tropical storm Khanun swept over the Korean peninsula. This heightened concerns of a food crisis in North Korea. About 90% of water samples taken from the American Great Lakes contain unsafe levels of microplastics. This is according to a new study from the University of Toronto. According to the study, about 20% of those samples are at the highest level of risk. However, researchers say the damage can be reversed if the US and Canada act quickly. The Great Lakes provide drinking water to over 40 million people in the US and Canada. The British government has been criticised for scrapping a food waste legislation. The policy would have made food waste reporting mandatory for large and medium-sized businesses in the country. Campaigners say it could have reduced food prices and helped tackle the climate crisis. Moving to business and tech, Chinese property developer Evergrande has filed for bankruptcy protection in the US. It will allow the heavily indebted company to protect its American assets. This is while it works on a multi-billion-dollar deal with its creditors. In 2021, the company defaulted on its huge debts. This sent shockwaves through the global financial markets. Elon Musk is on a visit to Japan for the first time in 9 years. The reason of his visit is not known. Elon Musk last visited the country in the year 2014. That was to finalize an agreement with Panasonic to build a battery factory. The prices of retail condiments have severely shot up in Argentina in the past month. A report says price lists from major suppliers show an average hike of 18%. This is between July 26th and the 15th of August. Ice creams and desserts saw the steepest jumps. Wholesalers are rapidly moving to raise prices after market volatility this week. Earlier this week, Argentina's government devalued its currency by nearly 18%. It also raised interest rates to 118%. Reports say chocolate makers like Hershey's and Mondelez may face tougher trading conditions over the next year. This may come as the companies attempt to pass on soaring costs to consumers. The price of cocoa have hit 46-year highs. Meanwhile, sugar prices are near their highest in more than a decade. The import of electric vehicle batteries and other car parts will now face scrutiny in the US. This comes as Washington is trying to end its links to alleged forced labor in China. For this, the US bans the import of goods made in China's Xinjiang region. Until now, the bans only focused on items such as solar panels, tomatoes, and cotton apparel. However, it will now include items like lithium-ion batteries, tires, and automobile raw materials. American banking group Citibank has been summoned to court by a US lawmaker. This is over an investigation into alleged data sharing by banks with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Lawmakers have accused major banks of sharing the private financial details of many American citizens. These details were shared with the FBI without due legal process. American online grocery delivery firm INSTACART is reportedly planning to file for an initial public offering or IPO. It could file for an IPO in the US as soon as this September. Last year, Instacart said that it had confidentially filed for a public listing. However, it then delayed the plans due to sour market conditions. Microsoft has said that it will pull the plug on Xbox 360's online store and marketplace. They will be shut on the 29th of July next year. Gamers using their old console will not be able to purchase and download new games. However, users will be able to continue playing games that they have already purchased. This comes as Microsoft aims to focus on its latest consoles and subscription service Game Pass. As per reports, Microsoft is planning to start selling a new version of its Databricks software. Databricks is a data analytics platform that uses artificial intelligence. It helps companies make AI models from scratch. This can serve as an alternative to licensing proprietary models like those offered by ChatGPT maker OpenAI. A US court has dismissed a lawsuit against YouTube. The suit accused it of restricting or removing videos of Black and Hispanic content creators. This was allegedly because of their race. However, the court said that the lawsuit failed to prove a pattern of discrimination. Moving to sports, in cricket, former coach Ravi Shastri said Virat Kohli is the solution to India's concerns about the number 4 spot. India have been searching for a player to fill that crucial position for a long time. Since Yuvraj Singh's retirement in 2017, the country has tried dozens of players. Ravi Shastri said, and I quote, "If you look at Virat Kohli's record, he is good enough at number 4. In football, the head coach of the US women's national team, Vlatko Andonovski, has resigned. This comes after the country was eliminated from the FIFA Women's World Cup in the round of 16. The US are 4-time champions of the tournament. This was the team's earliest exit at the World Cup. Lionel Messi said he is ready to bring home the first title for Inter Miami. He has already scored 9 goals in 6 matches for the club. The superstar looks forward to lift the League's Cup trophy for Inter Miami. The League's Cup final is on the 20th of August. English Premier League club Everton is in talks to sign Che Adams from Southampton. The deal is reportedly worth over $15 million. The 27-year-old Scottish forward has been at Southampton since the year 2019. Adams has scored 25 Premier League goals across 4 seasons for the club. Saudi Pro League club Al Hilal have signed Yassine Bounou from Sevilla. The 3-year contract is reportedly worth over $22 million. Bounou is Sevilla's first choice goalkeeper and has helped them win 2 Europa League titles. In tennis, women's world number 1 Iga Swiatek reached the quarterfinals at the Cincinnati Open. Poland's Swiatek beat Qinwen Zheng of China. She lost the first set to her Chinese opponent 3-6, but then rallied back 6-1 and 6-1 in the next 2 sets. Swiatek will next face Marketa Vondrousova of the Czech Republic. Men's world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz also advanced to the quarterfinals of the tournament. The Spaniard Alcaraz beat American Tommy Paul 7-6, 6-7 and 6-3. His next opponent is Australia's Max Purcell. Novak Djokovic also won in the round of 16 at the Cincinnati Open. The men's world number 2 beat Frenchman Gael Monfils 6-3 and 6-2 in straight sets. He will next face Taylor Fritz of the US in the quarterfinals. Trans women have been temporarily banned from the women's events at World Chess. They won't be able to compete until they clear a gender assessment. The International Chess Federation said this process could take up to 2 years. The move has drawn backlash from advocacy groups. India's National Doping Agency has banned sprinter Dutee Chand for 4 years. This is after she failed 2 dope tests for a banned substance. Chand's counsel said it was a case of unintentional consumption. She will appeal to the agency to challenge the ban. In the world of entertainment, the Writers Guild of America met with representatives of some major Hollywood studios on Thursday. This comes as the two sides continue to navigate a way to resolve an over 100-day-old strike. The CEOs of some of the major studios, including Ted Sarandos of Netflix and David Savla of Warner Bros., are also expected to hold a joint meeting. NBC Universal and Disney's top brass is expected to join too. Actor Jason Momoa has warned his followers against people who are pretending to be him and asking for donations in the aftermath of the Maui wildfires. The actor said, and I quote, "I am not going to be reaching out to anyone on Instagram to ask for money." He also urged people to stay away from tourist areas in Maui and let survivors use those resources. Model Sam Asghari has addressed rumors related to his divorce with Britney Spears. His representative said that claims of Asghari challenging PRENUP and threatening to exploit his wife are false. In a divorce filing, Asghari requested Spears to pay him spousal support and attorney fees. The two had been married for 14 months. Sean and Leigh Antwi, the couple that inspired the movie The Bright Side, planned to voluntarily terminate their conservatorship over Michael Oher. Oher is a former NFL player whose life story inspired the Oscar-winning film The Blind Side. Reports of conservatorship termination comes days after Oher sued the couple. Oher accused the Tuohys of lying about adopting him and falsely advised him to sign a document that made them his conservator. Singer Selena Gomez has confirmed that her new album is in the works. She announced that her new song titled Single Soon is set to release on the 25th of August. Single Soon comes as Gomez's song with rapper Rima called Calm Down spent several weeks on Billboard's Hot 100 singles chart. Selena Gomez's last album, titled Rare, came out in the year 2020. Singer Miley Cyrus has said that she will soon be sharing her new soundtrack called Used to Be Young. This comes 5 months after Cyrus released her 8th studio album called Endless Summer Vacation, which contains her hit breakup single Flowers. Many believed that this song was about her former husband, Liam Hemsworth. Cyrus said that her latest song is dedicated to her loyal fans who have loved every version of her. Musician Camila Seguera, who co-wrote singer Katy Perry's songs, has been missing for nearly 2 months. Authorities say that she was last seen in Beverly Hills. The musician's landlord in Beverly Hills said that she was evicted before her disappearance. A Peruvian singer is merging K-pop with the indigenous Quechua language. This has resulted in the birth of a new genre called Q-pop. Quechua is spoken by millions of people across the Andes. It is one of the 3 official languages in Peru. Girl with no job content creator Claudia Oshry has revealed that she is using type 2 diabetes medication called Ozempic for weight loss. This medicine is gaining popularity among Hollywood stars for its cravings curbing effect. Oshry joked that Ozempic was a no-brainer decision for her. Using this drug without a doctor's prescription can lead to health complications. And finally, Broadway star Chris Peluso has died at the age of 40. Peluso was a part of Broadway's Mamma Mia and portrayed character Sophie Fion's named Sky. Nearly a year ago, Peluso's friends revealed that he had stepped away from the stage due to schizoaffective disorder.